hello, namaskara, and welcome back to another episode in Resonance, the RNSIT podcast, where minds meet mics. And today we have two very, very nice entrepreneurs with us, which is the theme for the podcast. And I'm going to quickly take a minute and introduce them. And our guest speaker for the day is Mr. Arvind Ravichandran, founder of Bhookle. And Mr. Arvind holds a master's degree from the Iowa State University with focus education from New York University and Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He has 18 plus years of creating and building products for industry leaders such as Amazon and Microsoft in the United States. And this is his third entrepreneurship drive, and we are very happy to have you with us today, sir. And we also have with us Ms. Shamala Raghu, who is the co-founder of Bhookle. And ma'am is a multicultural food expert and a 5-star home chef with her cooking stints in Hyatt, Hilton Group and international events. And she's also very, very into the experiences in destination weddings and event management. And she basically understands food like nobody does, which is, right up my alley, and brings in food intelligence and drives food curation, diversity, and chef onboarding. So I would like to formally welcome you to the podcast. Thank you for being here. And let's go right into it and ask the question that I think everyone is wondering about. So from Amazon and Microsoft to Bhookle, how would you just consider leaving these tech giants and then just, start something of your own? How did that happen?
I think it kind of act as an act of nature. So I was getting too comfortable in all these two companies.
Okay.
And I'm a kind of guy who gets a little squirmish when I get too comfortable and I don't know, everything is going great. That worries me.
Okay.
So I tend to, and after I spent I started my career as a startup guy.
Okay.
Tanked my first startup. And then I went back to work for all these companies. The itch of going back to startup is always there. So, and I think I found the right product that I want to do. And it became too engrossing in a way that I can't do that and this together.
Right.
So it kind of pushed me on to this. It was a leap of faith.
It just was born.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So again, Bhookle is a very intriguing name. And even when I came and they were in the college and I was like, what is Bhookle? So I want to know what is Bhookle and how that just started. How do you create that?
Well, when we started building this app, which is essentially a marketplace for home chefs. So food comes from 3 sources primarily. One is either you cook at home or someone is there to cook. Like your mama, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your uncles, whoever is good at cooking. You get it from restaurants and then you get from providers.
Right.
So the first getting food from a restaurant is solved by a few apps, which is almost dually that's here today.
Right.
And the second segment of cooking at home, that is becoming a little hard to do in lifestyle of challenges today. Right? Either you don't get time to cook or, there are other priorities in your life.
Of course.
That you need to do. But at the same time, eating at home has always been guilt-free. Whatever you give to your kids or your partner, you always tend to go the extra mile that it needs to be absolutely healthy.
Right.
So there is not a structured way to solve that problem yet. So I found a huge opportunity there. So then we said Bhook is hunger.
Right.
In a lot of languages, Urdu, Sanskrit, and everything. We wanted to be the Google of hunger. So we called it Bhookle. But eventually people called it Bhookle also, with this book and lay. So
that also works, I guess. So that's how the name came, guys, if you're wondering. And let's talk about this tagline that you have going on. Amma in a dabba. I think it's very soothing and it's very something that connects on a personal level. So let's talk a bit about that.
You want to know the...
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially the motivation behind Bhookle was my Amma. So her name is Maithili. Her name was Maithili, and I unfortunately lost her to COVID in 2020.
Okay.
And when a person like that gets displaced out of your life, my mom knows to cook food and loves to feed me. Not just me, anyone. She knows. And
as mothers do.
So even when I was in school in India, there's always used to be 10 or 15 people who just come home just to eat my mom's food. And they shamelessly come even when I'm not. They just barge in and say, Auntie, give me food.
These are the true friends.
Yeah. So when my mom loves to cook food. And that's a way of expression of love. And she'll be more happy to cook me a bismillah than go to Disney. So that derives joy out of that.
Right.
When a person like that gets displaced out of your life, you start searching for where am I going to get this, that, and everything. And me and my dad are so spoiled. She cooks everything for us. And then this sucks, that sucks. I can't get this, I can't get that. Then none of these existing providers
Right.
able to do that. Then I was one day up at a terrace in an apartment in T Nagar, Chennai. And there are I can see pressure cooker. It's 6:37, right? There is pressure cooker going on. There is one auntie frying, tuck, tuck, tuck. So all that sound is coming, aroma is coming. And I'm socially shy to go and knock the door and say,
Right. We all are.
please give me food, right? I'm ready to pay. But you can't do also this pay deal with them because they're like, auntie, they'll hit me packet. And I'm very shy and I've been disconnected from India for about almost 2 decades. I don't know a lot of people also, but I want that food.
Right.
There's no access to that. That's when I said, okay, how do I create an ecosystem where I can, without shame, go get the food? And I know that this is closest to what my mom can cook for me.
Right.
Because food is a memory.
Of course.
So how do I evolve and solve all these problems? And also things even basic things like misalpa. You can't find that in any food app in Chennai.
Yeah.
It's a very popular dish.
It is.
There's no way to make it. So also then we said, okay, there's a lot of problems around the food space. And how do we get food which is as closer to Amma? So then our tagline was Amma in a dabba. We want to transport Amma in a dabba tea.
Nice.
So that's how Amma in a dabba.
It's very special and also very connecting towards whoever reads it. Even me, when I read it, I was like, so I'm going to get my mom's stuff in a box? Okay, great. Amazing. So next question is, so you've built products for some of the biggest companies in the world. And how did those experiences shape your approach while you were building Bhookle? Because those are all high-tech giants and you've given a lot of inputs to them. So how did that help in this?
Yeah, immensely. So when I started my career, I started as an entrepreneur myself. But I was a failed entrepreneur. I didn't know how to build a product.
Okay.
I didn't know how to take it to market. I didn't know how to position it. What everyone can do wrong, the series of 30 things you should not do, I was the only guy who did all the checkboxes correct. Right. How to graze a startup to a ground.
Yeah.
Then I was very honest with myself and said, I had a great idea, but I didn't know how to execute them. I didn't know how to take it to a real world. The idea was in my head.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of translation that needs to happen to take that vision to
Of course. Yeah,
a grounded
absolutely.
reality. And I didn't know that. Then I said, okay, I'm not going to work on my startup until I build enough credibility
Right.
and validation within myself so that I know the trick. Then I started working for a bunch of companies and I learned product. I learned how to push the market. Then I slowly learned cross departments. I used to be in market research. I used to be in product. I used to be in tech, building and coding stuff.
Yeah.
Then I also worked on marketing for a while, legal way. So I learned a little bit of every discipline.
Yeah.
Because I know somewhere down my path, I'm going to end up doing what I wanted to do, build
Yeah.
things on my own. And all these journeys with Amazon and Microsoft,
Yeah.
I did an honest enough job that, see, these are entrepreneurs in residence.
True.
And I was in a product role. So I was principally building products for them and they gave me salary. So it's almost like entrepreneurs with a parachute.
Right.
Now I don't have any parachute because if I jump, I either fall or if I'm lucky, I land on a tree. Right? There I had the comfort of doing things.
Right.
And each school gave me a different art of product. So eventually it prepares and then you build confidence. And
Of
now
course.
when your product own calling comes, this is the playbook. I need to do that.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. So now when we come about how Bhookle actually works, and I think earlier in the session, Shamala ma'am was talking about connecting with the ammas and bringing it till dabbas is quite a process. So ma'am, if you could shed some light about how that works, the process.
So initially when we started this, as Arvind was telling, the input used to go door to door. He used to do cold calls and ask them whether you will be interested. We have such concept, very interested in a part of this. And we used to go each and every house, taste their food, curate the
And I like that job, going tasting people's food.
curate the menu.
Yeah.
And then we used to feel offended. We used to be
Of course, yes.
this should be little more spicy. Or
Okay, yes, ma'am.
because Andhra food is very spicy.
Of course. So they will expect
Not
it.
give the
Yeah.
plain spice to the common man. You have to make it palatable to the
Right.
common man, right? So we had our honest views on the food and all. And then slowly now we are 2 years down the lane. Now people come to us for onboarding.
Yeah.
We have inquiries, queries and all.
Okay.
So we call them, we talk to them, we find out their interests, where they belong to. Then a lot goes to the curation,
Right.
curation.
Yeah.
It's not like often
Yeah.
chitrana, tair sadam, akki roti. We can't do that.
Right.
We have to first find out which region, even in Karnataka, which region they belong to. Some Karnataka has different dish,
Okay.
down the
Yeah.
Mulbagal.
Yeah.
You have a different cuisine in Mulbagal, So we try to first understand, then we research what region they belong. Okay, then we ask them. Some people say, no, I was in Mulbagam, but now I'm settled in Bangalore. But still you have your roots there, right? So we encourage them to, try and put some cuisine from their region.
Okay. That's how that goes.
Try to go around their region and curate the menu.
Right.
So that's how they are unique. If they sell the same thing, then of course something unique about them. And once this all come to a conclusion, okay, this can be the menu, curated the menu, then all the process. And they need to have the food license.
Right.
To help them in getting the food license.
Okay.
Many of them have, and who do not have, we try to help them in getting
Okay.
life.
Okay. So it's safe, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To sell the food online, you need to
Of course. Yeah. That's, I think, one of the biggest questions that will arise.
be home chef and make them ready
Yeah.
online.
Right. So earlier when you said that you use marketing strategies and you don't pay for marketing. So if you don't do that and you have, again, as they said that it's an entrepreneurship and they have about 25 people in your team. So how do you manage the marketing if you don't use marketing?
We do use marketing, but not in a. We don't have like
A team and all.
doing a commercial for us. We
Right.
the Katrina dates. We don't. Our chefs are the Katrina kids,
Right.
right? So
Of course.
the way we do marketing is we don't see marketing as a separate function or a unit. So when we onboard a chef, right, like she was saying,
Yeah.
we want to personify a human behind that.
Right.
It's not a brand to a consumer. It's a mom to a consumer.
Oh.
So when I sell a food, it's not selling the food. It's actually selling Kavita auntie, Maithili
Yeah.
auntie.
I see.
You need to form that bond. The humanization should happen.
Right.
So that's how the whole app is designed. Where you need to have the person who's cooking the food, you need to know about them, the kitchen, the videos of them and everything. So we take that as an opportunity. When we onboard chef, our marketing team goes along with that.
Oh, okay.
Go into the homes of the chef.
Right.
We make the chef talk to themselves,
Okay.
the users. We show the kitchen.
Right.
You will never see an app which actually shows the kitchen.
No. Yeah.
Because people are scared to do that.
Of course.
But we can afford to do that because we are not scared of a kitchen. So a mom's kitchen can't be dirty.
Yes.
Because that's the same place where she feeds her husband and kids.
Of course.
Right? How can it be dirty?
Can't.
And if it's dirty, we reject it.
And they get really mad about it being dirty.
Yeah, yes. So that becomes a marketing step on opportunity over there where we don't have to think about what collateral or content I'm going to build.
Right. Right.
The chef becomes the content. And then we go to the next level of, okay, the chef gets represented.
Yeah.
Food gets represented. How do I elevate home food as a team,
Right.
as an alternative to restaurants? So that's at the team level. It's much
Okay.
broader.
Right.
So we have vision-led
A larger perspective. Yeah.
collaterals where either for Insta Reels or anything, we say why home cooked food is a better
Of course.
substitute.
Yeah.
Fast course. Right? And we do deliberate campaign. We break that. Good food takes time was one campaign.
Yes.
You can't consume idli in 10 minutes and then if you say get idli in 10 minutes, it's not real it,
Probably. Yeah.
right? We need to make all these
Yeah.
myths because there is a whole set of agencies, an industry way
Absolutely.
putting something to you in less than 10 minutes. And we are the other slow guys where we say, guys, be careful what you put in your mouth.
Right.
It's not going to be 10. It's going to. So all these are marketing messages we need
Yeah.
to relay. These are not advertisements style, but it is a social message which we need to deconstruct. So we have our social media, which has about 26, 27K. I don't know how many followers we have.
Okay.
Closer to that.
Yeah.
And we have a small agency set up within a team who decipher all this message.
Okay.
So I think marketing is just not a function of advertisement. abused.
Yeah,
It's also about conveying your core brand to the user.
definitely.
So that's where the most of the focus.
That's quite good. And I think in the session that we had, they were also very focused on a lot of the negatives and a lot of the downsides that they have in entrepreneurship. And even as Sir said, he started out as a failed entrepreneur, and it was quite difficult. And the journey is not something that will end. It's a very big process, I would say, like learning from all of these things. So if you had this oh no moment in Bhookle specifically, what would that be?
Oh no, why did I do? Or
No, oh no, this is a problem, how do I solve it? Like a huge issue.
yeah, we have oh no moments almost every day or every week. The question is about the magnitude of oh no, right? Sometimes the oh no is your control, sometimes it's not in your control.
Right.
Like I was talking before, for the benefit of people in the podcast, we came on the Hindu, the front page where the PR happened. For
Yeah.
and it didn't pay them. They said, these guys were building something cool, let me publish them. On the day our payment gateways crashed, and that's a big oh no. I don't know what to do. There were 7,000 customers.
Oh no.
Everyone was emailing me like, what is your wrong?
Of course, I think that would have gotten a lot of hate. Yeah.
Reserve the space. If you don't know how to build an app, come to me. Yes, I know how to build. I can't really go and tell.
Of course, you can't explain it. They won't understand. They don't want to.
So we have all these oh no's, but I think more than shying away from the oh no's, I think an entrepreneur needs to acknowledge that my day is going to be filled up with maybe 9 oh no's and 1 oh yeah.
Okay.
Right? So
Right. You be prepared.
you need to be prepared. You can't have that victim mindset of everything.
Of course. Yeah.
You should brave all this. You're fighting against a storm.
You gotta go through.
Especially, we fight this Bangalore rain.
But yeah.
That is a very crazy. So, when it.
They're from Chennai, guys. That's why.
But we love them.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
But so we have to literally share down our app at times, it becomes so difficult to find the delivery partners to deliver the food. So we talk to our customers, they shout at us why it is getting delayed.
Right.
We have our moments of oh no with them.
It's very recurring, you would say. Yeah.
We have to listen.
Yeah.
We have to tell, because ultimately, even after an hour's time, when the food goes to them and they eat that food, then
They're like,
satisfied.
done.
So that is where we get the
Right.
satisfaction, right? So that food has to reach them,
Right.
and they have to have that
Yeah.
bite,
Absolutely.
and then okay. After that, we don't go till then.
Yeah.
We call only after the food has
Reached and they've had
then I know what will be the answer, because that's what goes behind onboarding the chefs.
Right.
We take that stringent actions before onboarding. So we are confident on that. We are confident about our product.
Right.
We say that.
Of course. That's very important, actually. And also coming to something for the MBAs and for all those entrepreneur people out there, there is something, the element where when you start an entrepreneurship, there's so many things. Like if I would say in reference to Bhookle, there is delivery, then there is the people who are there for you. So you pay them, you pay the delivery, and then you have something for yourself. So how does the profit work? How does the revenue model work? How's all that going?
We have something to get for ourselves. No.
Right. I was actually wondering about that. I'm like, you pay so many people.
Yeah. I think it all depends on the value ecosystem you create.
Right.
Right? Like you said, when you are doing a startup, there are several nodes to it, functions to it. Logistics is one, marketing is one, customer is one, product is one, and everything like that. At every stage you can't solve all the problems together at the same time on a same day and a same hour.
Right.
You need to know what's burning first and where most of your energies and synergies need to be invested. So that's what smart entrepreneurs do. They know that they have 200 problems to solve.
Right.
But what is the most important thing for me for today, this week? I'm going to focus on that. So having that clarity is what...
Yeah, of course. Quite important. And seeing that we have the founders of Bhookle with us, this is more on the lighter note. If Bhookle was a person, how would you describe its personality, and what would Bhookle order on the app? I know it's very tricky.
I would order as simple as a dal chawal.
Right.
That's just what you don't get anyway. A simple, soulful food. That's what I want.
That's, I think, what home cooked food is all about. So yeah, dal chawal. And I think I think this would be probably the last question, because this is on my mind. It's actually not even in the script. But ma'am being a chef from the Hilton hotels and, something that's such a large scale and something that requires a quality and the presentation and the dishes are so sophisticated. So how does that quality and how does this home cooked quality, how do you even like have this experience with both of them? Because when you taste these foods, it's completely different. And when you prepare food for those kind of events and like, of course, your weddings and all of that have such a different kind of cuisine, the expectations are different. So if you could talk about that.
So I carry almost 15 years
Hmm.
my wedding planning comes right in Naritam events. So that is how we are different from other wedding planners or wedding caterers, where we don't have we don't do it mass cooking.
Right.
So the same Bhookle concept is magnified Bhookle is there is my heritage.
Right.
It's what attracted joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we maintain that same, no colors, no ajinomoto, no soda. We maintain the same concept. So my badam halwa in a catering will be as authentic as you will as a home chef will do.
Right. Okay.
So it has the color of saffron. No yellow color or red color is added. So we maintain that.
Right.
And that has helped us a lot. And that transpires here.
Yeah.
Same thing transpires here in Bhookle.
That's how this is working now. Yeah. Okay.
If I may add this,
Yeah.
so I think there's a very subtle line where there is a soul of food and the commoditization of
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
anytime when you go for mass cooking, cooking in bulk, the levers shift this way
Of course. Yeah.
to the commoditization,
Yeah.
further away from soul of food.
Mm.
The real art of, which is very complex, very challenging.
Yeah.
When you're cooking for 1,000 people, or we do corporate orders now, so with Bhookle.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge for Bhookle right now is we wanted to give the Garka Kana taste, but at scale.
Okay.
For 100 people
Right.
in a company, in a startup where they want to feed their employees. How does the paneer butter masala need to look like? Does it need like the fulcrum of it moving towards restaurant or should the paneer be big pieces, naturally made, homemade, no orange thing,
Right.
like your mom does,
Yeah. Ghar.
right? Where does the balance strike?
Mm.
Having that equivocal thing,
Right.
say I can still deliver a home palette for a commercialization, that is a very big challenge.
Yes, of course.
So I think that's where we are trying to do it.
Right. So that I think was a fantastic few minutes that we had with the founders of Bhookle, which is Amma in a Dabba. So if you guys haven't tried it, I think you should, because I'm gonna. So yeah. So I would once again like to thank you on behalf of the RNSIT team and our podcast team for being on our podcast. Thank you so much, sir and ma'am, for coming out all the way for the session as well as the podcast. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I'm going to end this podcast by saying bye bye to you people, and we also have our links put down below, so please go and follow and share and do all of that stuff, because it's free, so please do it. So I'm gonna go now, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.